Hello everyone, this is Lich Hunter, and we're going to do a quick guide to the game system called Pathfinder. Pathfinder is the core rules that Adventure Workbook and Adventure Board are built off of. They're Pathfinder compatible, and though Adventure Workbook and Adventure Board is designed basically for experienced Pathfinder players, it is the case that people can learn the game by using Adventure Workbook and Adventure Board before they actually venture off and play with groups and other people that may or may not have more knowledge of the game than they do. So it can be a learning tool as well as an adventure tool. So the overview of Pathfinder is that Pathfinder is a tabletop rules system for fantasy-based RPG. It is produced by a company called Paizo.com. Here's the front cover to the core rule book that you can buy there. You see, basically in a nutshell, it shows adventurers, here a sorceress and a fighter with a sword attacking a dragon and battling in a ruin. So fantasy-based tabletop rules playing system, game for playing tabletop fantasy. And Paizo.com, here's how you spell Paizo, and here's where you could buy the rule book. Paizo also has the nice feature of having the rules available for free online. It's incredible that they do that for us. So just go to Google, search for Pathfinder Core Rules online. And you get here, and you can actually see that they have not only just the core rule book, they have bestiaries, advanced race guides, advanced players guides, ultimate campaign guides, game mastery, all this information available for free. There's even a getting started section. We would highly recommend how you play the game here and get Pathfinder's words as opposed to just our interpretation of how to communicate what the game is. And you can learn everything about the game here online for free, brought to you by Pathfinder, a product of Paizo.com. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff that they do for us. So in its simplest form, Pathfinder is like you would see in many fantasy-based games, Skyrim, World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings Online. You create a character, or a party of characters, depending on what the game asks for. And you venture out into the wild or into a dungeon. You combat monsters. You take their treasure. You return to town to buy stuff. You rinse and repeat. And as you do this, you increase in levels. And you get more powerful spells, which enable you to wield more powerful weapons. And the basic structure is that adventure to increase your power level and be able to affect the world more as you rise in levels. Now, the Adventure Workbook, the reason what it can contribute to the process of playing Pathfinder is it will roll the dice for you. It will help with bookkeeping. There's a lot of bookkeeping. There's a lot of rules that make this game work. It makes play faster and easier, and it helps you learn the Pathfinder game before playing in a group of seasoned veterans. That's all nice features of the Adventure Workbook. Now, the core thing about rolling the dice, and this happens over and over again in the game, is that there's a number that you're trying to roll. You usually roll a 20-sided die, and that number is going to be 10, 15, 20, something like that, and you need to roll it. But your character will have pluses or minuses, mostly pluses, that will help you reach those rolls. So if you were trying to climb a fence and it required a 15, some characters are going to be better at climbing that fence than others, depending on what their skills are. And so that is, in a nutshell, over and over again, what is going to be happening is that there is a difficulty to something. It's called a DC. And then You roll a dice to see if you overcome that difficulty, and there are going to be particulars to the character, class, level, the setting is all going to affect that die roll. And that die roll is essentially an interpretation of what it would be like for a real character to be facing these obstacles if the fantasy world were actually a real live thing. Good luck with your adventuring, and if you have questions, please don't hesitate to send us an email at editor@worldofatlas.com. Thank you.